Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Nur Afifah binti Ayat Media, metric number G2020-246. Today I'm going to present on chapter 11, Groups and Social Media. Social power. Social power is described as the capacity to alter the action of others. Social power means the ability of you to make someone else do something regardless of whatever they're doing it, willingly or not, but you have the power over them. There are 6 classifications of power that distinguish among the reasons a person exerts power over another, which is referent power, information power, legitimate power, expert power, reward power, and coercive power. Referent power, for example, like when we saw an influencer promotes a product that they use and we wanted to buy the product too because of the power that they have to influence us. Information power. This is like when editors of trade publications such as Women Wear Daily often possess tremendous power because of their ability to compile and disseminate information that can make or break individual designers or companies. Legitimate power, for example, like the police officers or soldiers, that they have the power to the authority we will obey what they say. Expert power. Expert power is the power that a person have depending on their expertise. People will believe them if they really have the knowledge to what they are reviewing. And the second last is the reward power. The reward may be tangible kind, such as the contestants on Survivor experience when their comrades vote them off the island, or it can be more intangible, such as the gushing feedback the judges and the voice delivered to contestants. And the last one would be coercive power. We exert coercive power when we influence someone because of social or physical intimidation. A threat is often effective in the short term, but it doesn't stand to stick because we revert to our original behavior as soon as the bully leaves the scenes. Fortunately, marketers rarely try to use this type of power. Next is conformity. Conformity is a change in beliefs or actions as a reaction to real or imagined group pressure. For a society to function, its members develop norms or informal rules that govern behavior. Without these rules, we would have chaos. Although we observe conformity in many settings, we don't mimic others' behaviors all the time. And these are the proof, which is first, cultural pressures. Different cultures encourage conformity to a greater or lesser degree. Americans like to say the squeaky wheel gets the grease, whereas in Japan, a popular expression is the nail that stands up gets hammered down. In a study, groups of passengers who arrived at an airport were asked to complete a survey. They were offered a handful of pens to use, for example, 4 orange and 1 green. People of European descent more often choose the one pen that stood out, and Asians choose the color that was like the majority of others. And next is fear of deviance. The individual may have reason to believe that the group will apply sanctions to punish non-conforming behaviors. It is not unusual to observe adolescents who shun a peer who is different, or a corporation or university that passes over a person for promotion because he or she is not a team player. Commitment. The more people are dedicated to a group and value their membership in it, the greater their motivation to conform to the group's wishes. Raw groupies and followers of TV evangelists may do anything their idol asks of them, and terrorists become martyrs for their cause. Next is group unanimity, size, and expertise. As groups gain in power, compliance increase. It is often harder to resist the demands of a large number of people than only a few, especially when a mob mentality rules. Next, susceptibility to interpersonal influence. This trait refers to an individual's need to have others think highly of him or her. Consumers who don't possess this trait are a role relaxed. They tend to be older, affluent, and high self-confidence. Next, environmental cues. One study reported that people are more likely to confirm when they make decisions in a warm room. Apparently, the warmth caused participants to feel closer to other decision makers, and this feeling led them to assume the others' opinions were more valid. In one part of the study, the researchers analyzed betting behavior at a racetrack over a three-year period. Sure enough, people were more likely to bet on the favorite horse on warmer days. Next slide is about word of mouth communication. Word of mouth is a product information that individuals transmit to other individuals. Because we get the word from people we know, word of mouth tends to be more reliable and trustworthy than message compared to the messages from more formal marketing channels. And unlike advertising, word of mouth often comes with social pressure to conform to this recommendation. Buzz building or buzz marketing. Buzz marketing is a viral marketing technique that is focused on maximizing the word of mouth potential of a particular campaign or product, whether that is through conversation among consumers, family, and friends, or larger scale discussions on social media platforms. There are lots of social media platforms, especially Twitter. They like to discuss about reviews and everything. And now we have Clubhouse. People also discuss a lot of things there. And continue by getting consumers talking about their products and services. Companies that employ buzz marketing hope to grow their awareness through the growth of online traffic and increase sales and profits. A buzz marketing example would be if a company decides to promote a product through some type of event centered around a show or stunt of some kind where consumers can try the product and are encouraged to share their experiences through everyday conversation or online. And, and negative word of mouth. There are positive word of mouth and also negative word of mouth. Informal discussions among consumers can make or break a product or store. Consumers wait on negative word of mouth more heavily than they do to positive comments. Especially when we consider a new product or service, we are likely to pay more attention to negative information than to positive information and to tell others about our nasty experience. Research shows that a negative word of mouth reduces the credibility of a firm's advertising and influences consumers' attitudes towards a product as well as their intention to buy it. Next is opinion leadership. How influential is an opinion leader? Opinion leaders are important because of their ability to influence the market and consumer trends. They have the influence to pass on their informations and opinions, which can have an impact on the use of the product or service with their audience. And there are two types of opinion leader, which is the market maven and the surrogate consumer. The surrogate consumer is a people that can influence or other people to what they wanted to buy. Next is the social media revolution. Online social network and communities. Successful online communities possess several important characteristics, which is standards behavior, member contributions, degree of connectedness, and lastly, network effects. First, I will explain about the standard of behavior. Rules that specify what members can and can't do on the site. Some of these rules are spelled out explicitly, but many of them are unspoken. Member contributions. A healthy proportion of users need to contribute content. If not, the site will fail to offer fresh material and ultimately traffic will slow. Participation can be a challenge though. And next is degree of connectedness. A powerful groups are cohesive. This means the members identify strongly with them and are highly motivated to stay connected. Online groups may be even more cohesive than the physical groups, even though many of the members will never meet one to another in person. And lastly is network effects. Network effects is the quality of the site improve as the number of users increase. And the other things are and the other things beside the online social network and communities in the social media revolution is a social games. A social game is a multiplayer, competitive, goal-oriented activity with defined rules of engagement and online connectivity among a community of players. For example, games like PUBG and Mobile Legends, they offer a games where people can play with each other through online and play them in a group. Next is digital word of mouth. Besides the traditional word of mouth, there are a digital word of mouth. It is like the same of the traditional word of mouth, but instead it used uh, in online purpose, which means the viral marketing that occurs when organization motivates visitors to forward online content to their friends, uh, and the message will spread quickly. Some The reason why they wanted to forward the content to their friend is probably maybe because the content is weird or the content is attractive to them. And lastly would be digital opinion leaders. Digital opinion leaders mean are also the same like the usual opinion leaders, but in terms of online. And in online groups, opinion leaders sometimes are called power users. They have a strong communications network that give them the ability to affect purchase decisions for a number of other consumers, directly and also indirectly. That would be the end of my presentation for chapter 11, groups and social media. Thank you.